Well, good evening. Um, so I recorded everything earlier, and you're actually going to see that next. I want to show you the finished product first. And, well, if you watch the next part, you'll see why. I had this barred all in 4/4, and I just figured, well, give the conductor to let them know that the rests aren't to be taken completely literally. I mean, yeah, they're not supposed to be singing there, but I just kept doing the playback and the playback and the playback, and I listened to it, and then after I finished it, I realized, you know what? There's a reason why vocal music uses funky key signatures sometimes, and this is a perfect example why. It has to do, in my mind, it has to do with phrasing. If my phrase is 7 beats long, then it should be in 7 instead of 4 and 3. I know from the sort of the oral, the heard thing, there's not a huge difference, but I'm thinking for the performers, um, if we put the text as much under one key signature, it shows that it's one idea. So here I didn't mess with the beginning part because I will praise thee. All right, and then for I am is that's for I will praise thee, for I am fearful. So that to me definitely feels, for I am feels like an anacrusis to something that, for I am fearfully, and this was fearfully and wonderfully made. All right, and that's a 6 bar one. Sorry, 6 beats. Fearfully and wonderfully made. And then I had a rest. So I changed this to a 3/4, and I said, you know what, Lars, just put it all under one beat. So it turns into a 7/4. I know it's not a huge thing, but to me, visually as a performer, this shows that this is definitely one idea, and it's supposed to be one big phrase. So then I did it again. Marvelous are thy works. Six beats again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again with a rest, and then I had the that as a half beat, and it bothered me because that is not an important word. It's just not. You know, if it was God or Jesus or Christ or something like that, or Spirit, or one of the the big words that doesn't even appear in here. Yeah, you can do something with that, but that it's not even, you don't even need it there. You could say, "And my soul knoweth so well." Grammatically, it's the same, but that refers to everything that comes before it. Um, but since that's just not a strong word, I took out the half step, and then I realized that this was another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bar phrase, and I could have done it in 8, but I wanted to put this. What do you call it? Excuse me. Um, I want to make sure that this is definitely, as you can see, that it's the end. So my whole part of rebarring this is to focus just as one big phrase for the text, even though it's not, humongous pages long phrases, um, or measures long. That the important words were, they all got their own space instead of being chopped into units of 4. So here it is, and can I? There we go. Put these right here. There we go. All right. So here's the final version. And again, if you want to see the other stuff about this, stay tuned, because everything else is explained. But I finished the video, and then I realized there was something I didn't like. So instead of making a separate video, I waited till tonight to finish it, and this is the finished product. Here you go. All right. So stay tuned, and you can see all the other interesting things that I did to get to this point coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good day. So the verse this week is from the Old Testament, and it presented some interesting challenges. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. All right, so still sticking with King James because it still has that poetic quality, but unlike the last 2 weeks, um, there's really not a natural rhythm I'm seeing here. I played with it. I mean, you could go, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. It's just doesn't seem to really work in a sort of a metric text that you can break down into a simple meter. So I decided to go with just try to notate how the words are said. So I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My soul knoweth right well. So if you hear that, you can hear there's some triplets. I experimented maybe some quintuplets, some sextuplets, and I just sat down and came up with a rhythm that made sense. So if I go over to finale here, this is what I ended up with. And don't look at the arranging yet. So I will praise thee. Pretty easy. For I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay, I'll get to how I change the text later. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Okay, down here. So, that being said, um, it didn't seem right to block these out. And also, I found the vowels kind of problematic. In English, um, yeah, we have a lot of vowels, but the stress of them in this particular text didn't seem to really lend itself to big open vowels and things. I mean, I will praise thee. Pretty good. Um, so then I thought about, well, how do we actually say these words? If I was just reading it, I don't say fearfully and wonderfully made. We would say fearfully and wonderfully made. So I went with that. So I just got rid of the all there. Marvelous are thy works. That's fine. And that my soul knoweth right well. Okay, so I got rid of the over here in the fully, um, because I wanted to go with how we speak, and it seemed to solve the problem. So for arranging, I also went in a different direction because the text is the way it is. I really wanted it to stick out so that the listener can actually hear it. My fear was that if you um, try to what am I trying to say? If you try to have everybody sing the same thing at the same time, and you got polyphonic writing, especially when you're throwing out vowels and your vowels are kind of terrible, um, it becomes really hard to understand. So my thought is on this one, I was going to think of either soloists or sections and broke it down. So I gave one section to the soprano, one section to the tenors, one section to the altos, and then everybody comes together and that. My solo note was right. Well, give it one section to the bass. All right, so that was an intentional choice, sort of ahead of time, so that the lines can be understood by your audience, and then to harmonize them. So I'm not just leaving them all by themselves, although you could, um, and it might be effective that way. Um, I just gave them ahs and oohs um, for harmonizing it, and it gives also the conductor, the group, some interpretation, wiggle room on how they want to do that. Um, anyway, so so let's look at the harmonics. So my last video, somebody had asked a question about modes and mode mixing and chromaticism and stuff like that. So I figured, you know what, let's put my money where my mouth is and do some. So I decided I'm going to go with major modes. So I go with Aeolian, Lydian, Mixolydian. Those are your major modes. And then I dip into the minors a little bit on some things here, especially down here. This A flat really um, doesn't quite belong in your normal keys. So the first one, I just had them singing over an open fifth. Right here. So I have an open fifth and an octave, and the sopranos just sing right above them. And also having the altos hold the C gives them can really get that dissonance, or that um, dissonance and consonance with the D and the E sort of clashing. That was an intentional choice. Then I said, okay, well, what would it be like if I did Phrygian? So I wrote this out all in just major, and I said, well, okay, I want a Phrygian sound. So what do I need to do to Phrygian? You got to raise the fourth degree. So I just made the F sharp, which presented a bit of a challenge. So what I'm really trying to do here is really get that modal feel. So I'm still really hitting the C, but then that F sharp is going to clash, and that's intentional because if you don't have the F sharp, it's not modal. It's boom there. It's just that simple. And then I figured, well, why not get the most out of this one? So I have this F sharp diminished chord here. Actually, these guys need to be tied. Now that I see it. It could be a half note, but I can't figure out how to make finale make that a half note with a third over it. But the sound is what I want. Anyway, so I have this F sharp here, and then I go to this F sharp diminished, and then I resolve it to your major 5. And actually, this one needs a, well, let's see. You know what? We could try the major 7. We could try it. Let's see what it does here. And let's see. So here's the beginning. that's the major 7. What if I put your garden variety 5/7 there? I don't know. I gotta listen to that again. Let's go to, what measure is this? 1, 2, 3. Kind of like that modal thing. Let's put it back to natural. Oops. Hmm. You know what? I'm going to keep it that way. All right. Now, you could put in and I had it as the dominant 7 with the F natural, because like when you're messing with modes, you don't have, there's no law that says you have to stay in that mode. So I could do Phrygian and then regular. There's no rule, but I kind of like, it's got an exotic sound with that F sharp going to E. All right. Anyway, going back here. Down here, I went with specifically Mixolydian. So it's a F scale starting on C. And to really get that feel, you gotta have the B flat. Okay, that's the thing that makes it Mixolydian. So I made sure it was in the melody. And then here, okay, let's make sure I didn't pick. Now that I think about it, did I create any weird fifths? C, G. No. Nope. No weird fifth there. Okay, because this one would have created a weird fifth, and I wanted to honor the rules of voice leading. So here I have the melody in the alto, just a descending line, and I figured let's get the most out of it. So I still starting on my 1 chord here, and then I have D, I have a G, B flat, F, D. So I was thinking, I did want to do like a 7 or something like that, but the G minor 7 as the 5 chord worked out fine. A is a passing tone, or a 9 if you want to use that. And then I was like, okay, I resolve it to 1. And I said, well, 1-7-1 would be cool. But there's a problem, okay, because the way I resolved it, I have a C and a G between the bass and the alto. And if I put a B flat, I would have had a parallel fifth. So I frustrated that by making it natural. So it's to sort of geek out here, it would be Mixolydian, and then I just go back to the regular 1. I also tried playing with this chord here. I tried making it minor. I tried making it a 6 chord. I tried making it other things, and just the plain old major works here. Last week, I borrowed, and so I got a diminished chord, which is a sound I really love. So I just have a 1 second inversion going to a diminished 7th, and it resolves here. to a 1, and then I really wanted to put in a minor or a flat 6, but the voice leading prevented that for some reason. So I went with a 4. So here's your roots an octave apart, and fifth and third in the bass. And that's kind of cool when you put when you have that first inversion sound, that chromatic in an outer voice. It comes out nice. And then just a garden variety 5 chord, which oh yeah, because the leading tone is in the bass. All right, even though I don't start on it, I eventually get there. Um, and I had a problem with going from 6 to 5 because of voice leading reasons. So I went 1, 4, 5. So this is 1, 4, 5. And so I have the skeleton of a 5 chord here, 5, 7. And I know that the third's going to be here. So it's G, D, F. It's really, if I'm going to go look at this is not, I would say it's not a chord. It's G, D, F, because I'm omitting the third, but I get to it here in the bass. And just on a garden variety 1. All right, so let's play it. No, it'll make me do that. Okay, fine. Do leftmost measure. All right. So here we go. This is Psalm 139:14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Here we go. And I'm using a bit of imagination on here, um, because the rendering here isn't obviously the way a choir was. The rest don't need to be interpreted literally. I just wanted to put them there so I'd have clarity between the lines, because I had these as whole notes and then it kind of gets blurred together. And that my soul knoweth right well. I was thinking that this could be, maybe should be, with the basses, maybe, because and that is kind of a dumb, just sitting there. And now I really don't like it. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I wonder. C, B. So I'm going to retain this. I'm going to try this. E, D. sometimes you come across things and it's like, maybe that doesn't quite work. GF. I'm going to relegate you to ooze. And G-A flat. So the voice leading stays the same. I'm going to shift you over a beat. G. There we go. And then make this just and I'm going to put you on ooze here. And what I'm going to do is almost going to move this. Can I move you over? Oh, fine. Go away. Fine. You're gonna make me do this. Goodbye. Come on. There we go. There we go. Boom. And fix my little shapies here. Wrong tool. Bonk. Goodbye. Add these later because this is all going to be one big phrase. All right. And get rid of the MPs. And then let's go with 7. So the dynamics aren't exactly where I want them, but it should render them the right way. So let's see what happens. Seems to have more continuity there. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up to the rest don't need to be interpreted literally. And my soul knoweth right well. Let's give it another listen. And you know what? I think I do kind of like that. Let's play with the rendering here. I'm going to change these. And this is one of those things you, and I think it's 7. So I'm going to put these. There we go. And this is 4. change these. It's like I just want like the backgrounds, you know. It's a subtle change, and of course, when you perform this, you're gonna change it for your choir and whatnot. But trying to get the best. Okay, I like that. Goodbye, 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 and trying to get the best out of here. So, there we go. So trying to get the best performance out of the VST here. That seems a little more balanced. There we go. I can live with that. All right. So, words by David, Psalms of David. And then I set these again. So I used, technically this would be mystery mode because there's no 7 in there to define it as Ionian. And I really wanted that modal feel, so I just went with the perfect fifth. Yeah, so like another simpler solution. I did a video on this back with I think I was demonstrating it on saxophone, where you can play things over a perfect fifth, and that really, the mode, the C and the G really anchor you there, and then whatever else you do tells you what mode you're in. You could do that, okay, but I decided to go with sort of the next level and actually harmonize with the modes. So I have sort of mystery mode, definitely Lydian, then definitely Mixolydian, and then I had to go back to the regular because I wanted to avoid the voice leading issue with the bass and the melody. And see, that's another thing, is that when you write the melody, I try to do as much as I can to preserve the melody. So if the chord needs to change, the chord needs to change. And then sort of borrowed the fully diminished, and then I went with the minor, sort of the Aeolian, and then you guess you could call this Picardy third if you really wanted to, because I mean definitely hinting at a minor key here, but I don't stay there. All right, so last listen. Here you go. All right. Okay, if you thought that was helpful, useful, or enlightening, please give a like and subscribe. Also, the studio is open. Link is in the description. I offer a service where you work with me one-on-one, and by the end of the year, you will have a finished, ready-to-publish work that has your ideas in it. My model is based on inquiry, so it's kind of your questions drive where you want to go. Um, and I'll help you out. I'll model, I'll demonstrate a lot of things for you, and then you get to decide which way you want to go. Um, so you're learning applied theory instead of sitting around reading about it, doing some lame exercise in voice leading, and then going on to the next topic. Um, Skills. So you're going to be writing, and then we'll discuss the theory as you write. Instead of saying you need to know the theory before you write, which is the terrible model in most universities. Yep, but if you sign up with me by the end of the year, you will have a completed piece. And yeah. Anyway, you have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.